Insane car notes. That's the topic for today. But we're gonna take a little bit of a different angle and look at it from a different viewpoint or lens. Um, are dealers to blame or consumers living beyond their means? In these clips that I'm about to show you, we're going to see, in a lot of these cases, some of these customers are literally begging dealers to buy back cars that have been repossessed. Let's get into the clips.
You want me to go buy a car that you had repossessed from the auction and sell it back to you?
Yeah, so hello.
Hey, Melissa, how are you? This is Yusuf, the car dealer from social media.
Oh, hey, Yusuf. I'm glad you called. I know you go to the auctions, and I was gonna book a call with you, but I didn't want to pay the $49 if I really couldn't get, what I needed to get.
Okay.
I had a 2018 Mercedes E400, and it got repoed back in November. And from your videos, like I remember that you go to the auctions and buy repo cars, and I wanted to know if you could possibly assist me with getting it back.
Wow. Okay, so why did it get repossessed? I'm sure you fell behind, but I mean, any particular reason? Did you have a job issues? What happened?
Yeah, so I lost my job. So I fell behind on some payments for 7 months. And now I'm getting back to a good spot. I was living in Miami, which obviously like expensive. But I just moved back to Atlanta with my mom, so I'm kind of getting more financially stable right now.
Okay. Wait a minute. So you said you fell back on some payments. 7 months is not some payments. Do you have a job right now?
I do not currently have a job right now.
So let's pause this for a minute. Let's just think about how insane this is. So she had a 2018 E400 Mercedes. The car got repossessed. She was living in Miami. Obviously, Miami is very expensive to live in. She probably was living beyond her means. She moves back to Atlanta with her mother, right? And during this time, she was before the car got repossessed. She was 7 months behind. She's back home with moms, and instead of just trying to get a cash car, she literally wants this dealer to try to buy back her vehicle that was repossessed, and she still don't have a job. Again, let's make it make sense and let's have our priorities in order. Again, that's why you should never, 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 feel bad or feel some type of way when you see somebody driving a luxury vehicle because you never know what they're doing or how far behind they are on those payments, just trying to hang on to that thing just to look like they're doing well in life.
But
So how do you have the money to pay for this car if I sell it back to you?
so I just recently got a check from the insurance company for an accident I was involved in about 3 months ago, I think it was. So I want to use that money to get my car back, and then I can get a job and work on my payments and stuff. I'm applying for jobs and stuff now.
I'm not laughing at you, but wait a minute. I'm not gonna lie, this sounds a little bit absurd. You got your car repossessed back in November. You want me to buy it back. You don't have a job. You're using the money that you got from an insurance payout to get the car back so you can get mobile and get a job, correct?
Correct.
You don't think that's a little bit
Actively applying.
backwards?
No, I mean, I'm just trying to think ahead. I said I'm actively applying to jobs, but I know I need a car to get from point A to point B. So why not start by trying to get my car back?
Chris,
Listen to this logic. She's coming into some money from an insurance check, and instead of using that money from the insurance to buy a cash car to get her from point A to B, keep in mind she doesn't have a job at all. She's trying to buy back her Mercedes that she couldn't afford in the first place when she had a job, and now she currently doesn't have one at all. And she really thinks that this makes logical sense. Again, like I said, we can't always blame these car manufacturers. We can't always blame these dealers. It's sometimes it's the actual customer. She's literally begging to get her repossessed vehicle back.
how much were you paying a month for the Mercedes?
I was paying about 1,300 a month.
$1,300 a month.
Yeah.
That is insane. Okay, $1,300 a month. What was your?
$1,300 a month for a 2018 E400 is insane.
Do you remember like the specifics of the loan? What was your interest like and all that?
Yeah, my interest was like 22%. Also hoping like if I get it back, I could possibly like refinance it or something and get the interest to go down
What's your
or something
credit?
like
What's
that.
your credit score right now?
Uh, It was a 560, but since I'm working on, building up, it's like a 590 right now.
How much money do you have down?
Zero. But I would at least be willing to put like the 1,300 down that I have for my monthly payment.
You don't think you should take that insurance payout, buy a cheap cash car, get your money up, find a job, take advantage of living at home with your mom, and then come back to me and like, Yusuf, you know what? I'm in a better position. You actually have a job. You have better credit.
Again, like I said, car dealers always get a bad name for being scummy and scammy and always trying to get over and deceive the customers. This gentleman here is literally trying to actually mentor, literally trying to tell this client, hey, maybe this is not a good idea for you to buy this car right now. Get something cash, get more stable, get a job, work for 6 months to a year, maybe improve your credit since you're only sitting at a 590, try to get it closer to 700 plus, and then maybe, think about moving forward. But again, this customer is dead set on getting um, her 2018 E400 back that she could not afford in the first place.
And then we can get you into a different car with a lot cheaper payment.
No, not really. I kind of really, like I said, I value the cars that I drive, and I really like that car. So my goal is to get that car back. And then, like I said, I'll have my car, work on my job. I'm going to get a job, and then go from there.
I think your priorities are all wrong. The reason why I called you is because you were very adamant and messaging me multiple times. So that's why I decided to call you.
I mean,
And
Again, she was blowing him up in the DMs for him to try to get her vehicle back. Can't
appreciate
make it
it,
up.
like your advice and everything, but I was really only looking to get your help and find my car back. Like, that's really what I want. So
I got you. I mean, but you don't think you're gonna put yourself in a bad position? I'm just telling you, reminding you that if I buy it back, there's no chance you'll get approved for it. And even if you were approved for it, you're gonna be still at a high interest loan, paying over $1,000 a month for a car you don't have a job for that had a recent repossession.
no, I mean, like, I can have a job by the time we go through this whole process. Like I said, I'm actively applying.
But you haven't had a job for the last year, correct? That's why you moved from Miami to Atlanta?
Yeah, the job market is hard, but in Atlanta, there are more opportunities. Hence why I moved.
I got you. I don't feel like you're really trying to hear what I'm saying, right?
Not really, because I just I just wanted your help with that one thing, but
I
it seems
got
like
you.
you're really not trying to help me.
Yeah, for this you should have booked it. For this you should have booked a time with me and paid the 49 so I could feel better for saying no. But even if I were, I wouldn't be able to do that because you're gonna be in the same spot now, and that's that.
All right, it's cool, whatever. Yeah, it's a waste of time.
Wow. So then she gets an attitude when she can't get what she wants and hangs up on the man after he gave her nothing but good advice. No surprise that she's in a position that she's in. Clearly, she's very entitled. She's dead set on having a vehicle that, number one, she could never afford that vehicle in the first place. Um, the vehicle became repossessed. Now she's literally blowing this gentleman up, trying to get him to repurchase her vehicle that's been repossessed for literally 6 months down the line for her to be in the exact same position. Instead of her using the opportunity where she's living at home with mom to stack up some money, actually get gainfully employed and then maybe get a house or some type of apartment where she's living on her own and a cash car. She wants to drive around the bins, probably because she wants to flex and make it seem like she's doing better than she really is. I mean, we gotta get our priorities straight.
Caleb, what's the highest and lowest car payment you've ever seen?
Lowest car payment I've ever seen was $149, and the highest car payment I've personally delivered is $2,088 a month.
What car?
F-150 Raptor.
Let's see.
$2,000 for a pickup truck. I mean, I understand it's a Raptor, but still, $24,000 a month just for the car note. We're not talking insurance and gas. Well over $30,000 for a Ford pickup is insane.
I think $130 would be the lowest, and we used to do 1 year loans, so about $3,000.
And on my year,
That's actually not that bad. I mean, if it's a 1 year loan, 3 grand, I mean, if you got it, I mean, it's 36,000 a year, you knock it out in 1 year, it's done and over with. So, I mean, in that situation, I mean, it sounds 3 grand a month sounds insane, but if you're talking about for only 1 year, and like I said, you have the finances, the monthly income to swing that, That's not too bad.
Years in business, the lowest car payment I've ever seen was $135. Highest one I have ever seen was $1,370.
Lowest car payment was my own personal one. It was $89.98 a month on a 2021 Hyundai Ioniq full EV SE. Highest was 1198, and that was on a Genesis GV80 purchase for 3 years.
Damn, 2,000 a month for a Genesis. I mean, I understand Genesis is the luxury brand, but it's essentially a Hyundai, 2 grand a month. I don't know about that one.
Probably like 250 and 1100.
Who else loves all the things in their car? I love the massaging seats, the screens, the panel sunroof, blah, blah, blah. And I freaking have been paying for it, but I will penny pinch and get all my coupons out at the grocery store. Anyways, I'm going to test drive some EVs today and start saving.
So she's paying $1,000 a month for a Ford Explorer. Again, this is the ST, so this is like the performance model. I believe that's insane for a Ford Explorer. I mean, I'm sorry. $1,000 for the car note, and then we're talking what she said, 250, 280 for gas, and another $100 for insurance. So we're talking about 1,380, so $1,400 a month for a Ford Explorer ST. Again, like I said, it's not always the dealers. A lot of times these, people really have no problem with these extremely high car notes. Again, like I said, nothing wrong with having a car note if you can afford it. But a lot of cases, people sign up for these car notes, and 6 months, 8 months down the line, they're already struggling. They're already behind on their payments.
700 is the new car payment average. And that's so crazy because, auto repos is 30% on all auto repos. That's reported in the third quarter right now.
30%. So that's 3 out of what, every 10?
That means that 1 out of 3 people are going to get their cars repoed. Roughly 1 out of 3. That is a crazy statistic. That means if you got a friend group of 3 people, that means one of your friends is falling back or getting their shit repoed. And people that's late on their payments is almost 10%. That's delinquent 90 days or longer. That just shows you how bad, that new average of $900 or $700 a month is crazy. Also, the average American loan down payment's negative equity, meaning you owe less or more than what you owe. That means, like, if you owe a $20,000 car, the average is $6,000 negative, meaning that you would owe 14, or that your car's worth 14 and you owe 20,000. So your average negative down payment or negative down or negative equity is 6,000. That's crazy. So yeah, I mean, just be careful. If you got an auto loan, try to make extra payments. Try to pay it off as quick as possible, because this way you can get out of that, shithole that the majority of Americans are in right now.
Again, like I said, $700, that's just the payment. A lot of people that never, you can't forget to factor in insurance in gas. Again, like I said, especially if you're going, your credit's not in the best shape. You don't have a excellent track record when it comes to insurance. I mean, you got people out here that's paying $400, $500, $600 just in insurance. So that's another car note. Then, depending upon the vehicle, especially if it's not something that's economical or fuel efficient, you could talk about another $300 in gas a month. I mean, you could be well over $1,500 to $2,000 for a vehicle. Again, like I said, the average person is probably making maybe 50 to 60 grand gross. I mean, do the math. Like I said, some people are spending 30, 40, upwards of 50% of their take home income on a car. I mean, and you wonder why the repos rates are what they are.
2016 BMW X5, paying $700 a month, 19% interest, and you are ready to get out of it. So,
Hello.
hey, how are you? This is Yusuf from Legacy Motorcars of Austell.
I'm good. How are you?
I'm wonderful. So I'm calling about the 2016 BMW X5 you're trying to get rid of. You can trade it. It's getting too expensive.
I can afford it. It's a downgrade like I did, but my Chevy Malibu was a 2020.
I had no choice but to get this because this was like the only thing on the lot, and that car dealership was offering $8,000 for a car with like no engine, pretty much.
Right.
So like I kind of had no choice.
How much you're paying on the X5
Kind of had no choice, or you had a choice. It's always a choice.
right now? $700. Okay. Do you know your interest rate by any chance?
My APR is 19.15.
So how long ago did you buy it?
December of last year. To have some negative equity, I want to say 12 or 13 on a Chevy Malibu. They gave me 8, and then whatever was left of that, that's what my negative equity is.
Does it show how much you owe on your app? What's left of it?
Yes, 26,931.
Oh my God.
Right.
$27,000 on a 2016 BMW.
Yes.
Oh my God. And you got a 19% interest rate.
I feel completely screwed.
I had these videos out last year, right?
Really?
Yes.
No, don't do me. Don't do me. Don't do me unless you can get me out of this thing. You can't help me.
You got to be very, very careful rolling in negative equity into a new loan. Again, like I said, she's traded in a Chevy Malibu, and I believe she owed 12 or $13,000 on the vehicle, and they gave her 8. So like I said, she was already rolling in 4 to 5 grand on this new vehicle, and then she went and bought a 2016 BMW X5 at 19% interest, $700 a month. Now I'm sure that car has depreciated, and as we see on the screen, she's in the hole for about $20,000 in negative equity, and it sounds like she obviously wants to get out of this vehicle and into a new car.
Can you?
No, because I thought you said you owed like only 8. I misunderstood the text message. That's why I thought you said you only 8 on the X5. I was like, this is a done deal. I'll offer you 9 grand on the car and get you into something cheaper.
Oh God, I wish.
Yeah.
Would I be able to get out of this thing if I lease the vehicle?
Listen, you have almost $20,000 in negative equity. How's your credit?
Oh my God. My husband's credit.
How's his credit?
Through everything. His credit is decent, I think.
So she said her husband's credit pretty much runs everything. So that means her credit is absolute trash.
We just bought a house. I want to say 650 or above.
Okay, 650 is like a little below decent. Here's the thing, right? With leasing a car, this is where everybody gets the misconception about leasing. Like negative equity does transfer into a lease, but doesn't go away. For instance, if you have $20,000 of negative equity, the lease ends up being $40,000. Let's say you put $5,000 down, right? So technically you're only rolling over 15. So your new loan balance will be $55,000. So your payments are going to be higher. Yes, the negative equity technically got absorbed into the car. Can you stomach $1,200 a month or $1,100 a month for 3 years? So that's the thing about leasing. So no, leasing won't necessarily solve your problem. Two is you have such a high interest rate that right now, even if you paid down the principal, you're still going to have like a lot of interest.
Right.
Does it tell you how much interest you're paying a day if you click the payoff letter? How much?
Daily interest would be $14.
Now you're paying $420 a month just in interest on this car. So if you're paying $700, that means only $300 of that is going towards the principal. So more than 50% of your payment every month is going towards interest.
Holy cow!
Yeah.
Okay.
So I mean, I try to tell people,
whenever I did the Malibu, like, holy cow.
Yeah. So.
Okay. Yeah, we're still learning all about this, I guess.
Made a decision. It is what it is at this point. At least you're not like, oh. And I know a lot of people try to tell me, Yusuf, you don't help anybody out. I mean, I'm helping by these interactions right now, right? Educating you.
This is like knowledge. I mean, like I didn't know that. My salesman certainly did not tell me this,
Unless you come up with like 15 to 17 grand down, there's nothing that I can do.
Okay, well, maybe we'll just I'll talk to my husband.
Okay.
I'll talk to my husband and maybe just put the 15, 20 down and see what he says.
Sounds good. Keep me updated.
He might kill me.
Keep me updated and we'll go from there, okay?
All right, thank you.
No problem. Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
Let's all pause for a moment in silence and say a prayer for her husband.
Real quick, what's the highest car payment you've ever seen? Like $1,565, $1,700 something like that?
That's your car payment?
No.
What's the highest car payment you've ever seen?
$1,400.
Social media guy who used to sell cars.
Yeah.
What's the highest car payment you've ever seen?
Ooh, $1,347.
What's the highest car payment you've ever seen?
$1,900.
What's the highest car payment you've ever been a part of?
Oh, shoot. It's like $1,370 on a Telluride.
Mr. Radford?
$1,370 a month for a Kia Telluride. Absolutely insane.
You've been here for like 40 years. What's the highest car payment you've ever been a part of?
Highest car payment? I think we had a Sequoia that was around $1,500 a month.
You've done this job for a while. What's the highest car payment you've ever been a part of?
Oh, probably my own. Like $1,900.
Ooh. What's the highest car payment you've ever been a part of?
Like I said, I mean, absolutely insane. $1,500, $1,800, $1,900 for some of these car payments. Again, like I said, I just wanted to shed light on some of these insane car payments, but talk about the perspective from the actual buyer. Again, like I said, a lot of times dealers get such a bad rap, especially used car salesmen. It's a very negative connotation with the business. But as you can see in the clips that we watch, some of these customers are literally begging to make terrible financial decisions. Shout out to all the people with cash cars. Shout out to all the people with no car payments. If you're one of them, put cash car or put no payment in the comment section below. I look forward to hearing from you in the comments. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share.